Have you just started using your very first macOS device, or maybe you've been using it for many years? This is going to be a 7-part video series, so this is the first video in this series showing you how to use your Mac. So for those that are brand new to this is going to be a great series to give you an overview of your MacBook as a whole. For those of you that might have been using a Mac for a while, maybe this will show you a few things that you haven't learned before. In this first video, I'm going to be focusing on just the main screen of your MacBook, including the search, your dock, your menu bar, things you can do by clicking on the Apple logo, and your trash bin. That is where the focus of this video is going to be. So without further ado, let's jump into your new Mac. There are a couple areas I just want you to be aware of. Down along the bottom here, you're going to see what is known as your dock. That's where applications that you might use quite a bit or just anything that's currently open will appear down in your dock. Towards the right hand side is where you're going to see files that are saved on your desktop. You can also enable access to your hard drive and other drives that are plugged in. Like if you plug a USB drive in, you'll see that show along the right hand side. On the top right, you're going to see what's called your menu bar. This is a lot of applications that might run in the background. If you have Dropbox, for example, or Google Stream installed, that'll be running up there. If you're doing any live recording, your Wi-Fi, a lot of your quick settings are all accessed in that top right-hand corner. The top left-hand corner will have your menus if you're in a program, and also have the Apple logo icon that you'll see there in the very top left, which allows you to do a lot of different things. So we're going to start with the dock. The dock sits along the bottom, and you can add applications to it. So if you have programs that you use quite a bit, you can add them down to that dock. To add an application or take an application away, all you have to do is open up an application. So I'm going to open my calculator. Let's say I use my calculator all the time and I want that item to be in my dock all the time. If you have a trackpad, you can take 2 fingers at the same time and click on it. So I took 2 fingers at the same time on my trackpad and clicked on it. If you have a mouse, use the right click to click on the icon. And then you're going to have a few options here. You're going to have quit, which will quit the application. You'll have hide, which will quickly hide the application so you won't see it. So for example, I'll hide it. It goes away. If I 2-finger click or right click on it again, I can click on show and it will come right back. So I'm going to 2-finger click again. You can show all windows. And then under options, you have a couple different things here. You can tell it to stay in your dock or keep in your dock. You can have it open at login. So if it's a program that you use all the time and you want it to open up every time you log in, you can have that selected so it automatically opens when your laptop logs in. You can have it show in the Finder. And then if you work with multiple desktops, which I'll be covering in a future video, you can assign it to a desktop. Kind of quirky how it works. Not 100% sure if that works great all the time. And what I've found, it doesn't work well all the time. It works well 80% of the time, maybe. So all you're going to do is select keep in dock. And now when I quit out of it, you're going to see that the icon actually stays in my dock. Now let's say I want to take an item out of my dock. You're going to do the same thing. With a mouse, you right click, or if you have a trackpad, take 2 fingers and click at the same time on it. And I'm going to do options, remove from dock, and you'll see it disappears from the dock. So there is another way to add an item to your dock, and I actually find it a little bit quicker and easier. So I'm going to open the calculator app back up. Now there's an even easier way to add it to the dock. If you click and drag it, you can move it around within the dock, and that will automatically keep it in your dock. So now you'll see I've clicked and dragged it around, and I can place it in the dock where I want. And now if I quit out of it, you'll notice that the icon actually stays in the dock. So that's another way that you can add it to the dock. So you open it up and just drag it over. Because what it'll do is on this right-hand side, any applications that you have open that aren't in your dock will appear there. When you close them, they'll disappear. And again, if you want to remove it from the dock, you want to 2-finger click on it or right click. Go up to options and remove from dock, and that'll take the application out of your dock. So that's how you add or remove an item from your dock. The next thing you can do is if you want to play around with the order of items that are in your dock. For me, I like to keep a lot of my photo editors together, my audio editors, video. I like to have a little organization down in my dock so it's much quicker and easier for me to find the different applications. All you have to do is click on it and drag it. So let's say I want my Ecamm Live over there. So I clicked and dragged it and then let go when you have it where you want it to be. And that is how you can move items around in your dock. Just click and drag. Easiest way to do it. Now there's some more settings to your dock. If you click on the Apple logo icon in the top left and go to System Preferences, you're going to look for the dock and menu bar icon and click on it. It's going to give you a whole host of settings right here. So the first one is I can adjust the size. Now, because I have a lot of items in my dock, there's only a max size I can go. If I have a little fewer items in it, you can make your dock pretty big. But I can also make it really small. So I have a lot of stuff, so I like to keep it as big as I can. You can also turn on magnification. And you'll see that as I scroll over it, the icons will get really big. And I can control how big those icons get. Like right now, they won't increase because I have the magnification turned way down. And now I have it up just a little bit. So you can play around with the size it magnifies. So that really helps if you want. For example, here, let me make my dock really small. So that's really hard to see. But if I turn my magnification on, when I hover it over it, it's going to get really big. So it's an easy way to keep your dock always there and not so hard on your eyes so you can still see what's in your dock. And to undo it, you just uncheck magnification, and then you can resize it to the size you want. You can choose the position on your screen. Some people may not like their dock across the bottom. You can choose left. You can choose right, or you can choose bottom. Minimize windows using Genie effect or scale effect. That's just how the animation that your windows use when they close. I don't find that's a big deal at all, but you can play around with it. A couple of these other settings you can just kind of play around with to see if you like it. The next major setting here is automatically hide and show the dock. So if I check that box, you're going to see the dock disappears. If I take my mouse all the way to the bottom, you'll see it reappears. When I move my mouse off from the bottom, it hides. Great way to keep it off screen. That's the way I usually use it. For right now, I'm going to just have it auto show the dock. But that is a great handy little feature. You can have it show indicators for applications that are open. So you're going to notice some of my applications have a little grayish white dot below it. That tells me the application is already open. If I untick that, they'll go away. I really do find that feature handy to know if I have a program already open or not. The other one you can do is have it show recent applications in your dock. So like the last 3 or 4 programs, it will have it on that right-hand side. You'll see those applications you opened. It's not an option I prefer. It's actually on by default. So one of the first things I always do is go in and turn that off. That's just not a feature that I find of use. The other one you can do is you have your menu bar at the top. Your menu bar is this top bar across. You can also have that automatically hide just like your dock. And to show it, you just put your mouse up there and it reappears, just like hiding your dock. That's another one I don't prefer to have that one hide. So that is all your settings and controls for your dock. So let's close those settings out. Now your menu bar on the top right. Yours may look a little different from mine. It depends on what version of macOS you're on. I am on the latest one, which is called Big Sur, and that is macOS version 11. If you're on an older version, it's going to look just a little bit different, but the function of the menu bar is exactly the same no matter what version you're on. A lot of applications you have might have menu bar options, so they're quick options for you to use it. So like I have remote PC, so if I want to connect to one of my other computers remotely, I can quickly launch it from here. I have another app called Camo, which allows me to use my smartphone as a webcam, which is a really cool feature. I have LastPass, which is my password manager. I have my OneDrive, my Backblaze, which is my backup system we use, and a few other applications. I also have my battery up here so I know what percent charge my battery of my laptop has. I have my Wi-Fi indicator. So if I click on that, I can see all the different options for my wireless. I have the search bar. And then you're going to see this little kind of settings toggle. If I click on that, it will show me all my other settings. This one is new to Big Sur. You will not see this in any of your other versions of macOS. This is completely new to Big Sur. And you can move things in and out of it a little bit. I find the controls, it works pretty well. You got to kind of play around to see if you can move things in and out of it. And then you have your date and time. So that is your menu bar. So we've covered your dock, which is along the bottom or the left and right, depending if you move it there. You have your menu bar, which is along the top right and is kind of quick access to certain features that some applications may have. Some applications allow you to show some settings up in your menu bar, or you can remove them. There's some applications I could care less if they sit up in that menu bar, so I choose to hide them. So the next feature I want to show is the trash can. When you delete an item from your computer, it will go to your trash can. So it's kind of like a save. Just in case you didn't mean to delete it, it goes to that trash can. Same thing with Windows devices. Pretty much any modern operating system has that trash can. So in here, you can go in and view your items. Let's say you deleted something that you didn't want to delete. All you have to do is take 2 fingers on your trackpad and click at the same time. Or if you have a mouse, you can right click. And you're going to see an option of put back. Or you can delete it immediately if you want. But if you select put back, it'll put it right back from where you deleted it. The other thing you can do is on the top right, you can click empty. That will empty your trash can. And you'll select yes. There is another way to do it. If you remember the 2-finger click or the right click with a mouse, if you do that on your trash can, if you have anything in there, you can click empty trash to empty it right away. It's a great quick way to empty your trash. The next feature is the search. There are 2 ways to get to the search. And on macOS, they call it Spotlight Search. So towards the top right, you're going to see the little magnifying glass. You can click on that to get to your Spotlight Search. The other way is you can hold down the Command and Spacebar button at the same time. So push Command and tap Spacebar, and that will get your Spotlight Search to show up. And you can search for anything, a file name, a program. So let's say I want to open QuickTime. I just start typing quick, and it's going to quickly bring up, any application that matches that name, any files. It's going to show you a list of everything that you could have, and it's a scroll down list. So if you go all the way to the bottom, you can tell it to search in Finder, which then it will open that search and show you everything that matches that quick search in your Finder. Sometimes it's a little easier to scroll through all those. But let's say you have a program you haven't opened in a little while, but you don't want it down in your dock. So again, like QuickTime, I can just start typing the quick, hit enter, and it's going to open my QuickTime player instantly. So the search is a great tool, and I am actually going to show some more capabilities of the search because it actually has a lot more power to it. In the last version of 2 of macOS, they've given it a lot more capability. So in one of my future videos, I will be showing a little bit more of that feature. But just to quickly use search, that's how you use it. Now the Apple icon in the top left. This is kind of your control center, I kind of think about it. You can go to About This Mac, which will show you all the information on your Mac. You can go to your System Preferences, which is kind of the control panel, the heart of your Mac. You can open up the App Store. You can view recent items. So any recent programs you've opened, recent documents, servers you've connected to, you can quickly get to those by going to recent items. You can force quit. So if an application has frozen up on you, you can use the force quit. Again, future videos are going to show all these features inside and out, if the feature has a little more depth to it. You can put your computer to sleep. You can restart it. You can shut it down. You can go to the lock screen, which will keep you logged in, but it will still boot you out to the lock screen. If you have things you don't want people to be able to see, you can trigger your lock screen, and a person would have to put your password in order to get back in. It's more of a quick login instead of fully logging you out where all your applications will close down. It'll keep everything just the way you had it. It'll just put up the lock screen really quick. It's a feature I use all the time. Or if you fully log out, that means all your applications will close. When you log back in, it's going to open everything back up, and it'll kind of start like a restart of your computer. So those are the options with the Apple logo. I hope this first video has kind of given you a nice brief overview of your desktop screen and helped you just get comfortable with where things are and some of the very, very basics. Again, this is the first video in a 7-part series that is going to go much more in depth on all the different features of your macOS device. My plan is to hopefully have 1 to 3 videos done a week, so I'm hoping over the period of the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'll have this whole video series done and posted. I really hope you found this helpful. Again, stay tuned for future videos as it's going to really break down your macOS device for you. Please, if you have any questions, because there is so much, full operating systems have so much capability and power, but that means there's also a ton of settings. So if you have any questions, see down below, leave a comment. I do answer those comments. Don't hesitate to leave one. If you have a question or a certain feature you might want to see, do not hesitate to leave that comment below. While you're down there, hit that like button and just right to the neighbor next door, hit that subscribe button so you'll know when these new videos are released, and it'll keep you in the loop on all my latest video tutorials. So until next time, this is Adam on Tech, signing off.